listening to The Announcer's Table with Daryl and Ian. This podcast is presented by RingIcon.com, the social networking site for wrestlers, fans, promoters, and everything indie wrestling. Log on today and create your profile, and as always, enjoy the show.
Hey guys, this is Ian.
It's time! It's Vader time!
That you actually look like Vader.
I can live with that one.
Yeah, I mean, you should just be Vader every Halloween for the rest of your life.
Okay.
So, and today is Friday, so that means it is the pros. So this week we are talking about SummerSlam pay-per-view that happened last Sunday. We're going to review it and tell you what we thought of it. Then we'll talk about some Raw, and then
some Impact.
And so that's about it for the pros. So we'll see you next week. Oh, yeah, we got to actually talk about it. So,
all right.
So SummerSlam.
Yeah. All right. So I thought it was a fairly decent card. The pre-show with the match between RVD and Dean Ambrose, really disappointing.
Yeah, it was a big letdown just because, I mean, you would think that those two phenomenal wrestlers would have a phenomenal match, and it just wasn't so. One, the Shield interrupted. Two, Big Show and Mark Henry were behind RVD, but yet they didn't do anything.
Yeah,
they weird. Just stood there and didn't attack. You know, it was just completely pointless. It was.
Yeah, I thought
it was a really bad.
They should have just let them have a match and let them wrestle. I think it would have been great. I think it would have wowed everybody, and everybody would have been.
RVD is one of my favorite wrestlers, and Dean Ambrose is a really good wrestler.
Absolutely.
So it would have been a good match. But then right after the pre-show, which was kind of disappointing, they went directly into the
not
Ring
Inferno match.
Yeah, not Inferno match, the Ring of Fire match.
And I'm just gonna say it was horrible.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Very bad.
Bray Wyatt, we know he can wrestle, but at the same time, I think he's still got the nervous bug of being.
That was his first match as Bray Wyatt.
He tried doing things too quick, and he tried just. It was even worse, I think, on Raw when he had his match on Raw. But him and Kane, the whole Inferno Ring of Fire match was just awful. Nobody caught on fire. The match was really bad. The whole
laid the tarp or the carpet or something over it so they could get in the ring, and then they I mean, I'm curious to see where the storyline's going to go with
I mean, like I said, I've always said that I hope that they make the Wyatt family the next faction, but it doesn't look like it's the next faction because they did that on Monday. But I was hoping that would become a faction, but
I think it'll be maybe a month before Kane kind of comes out.
Yeah,
they're going to have time to kind of brainwash him.
Yeah.
So.
But so that was not a good match. The whole pay-per-view was kind of a letdown, except for one or two matches were.
I remember
really
we talked
good.
about last Friday we was talking about how we was excited to see it. It was shaping up to be like a really good card, and then I don't know what happened, man. Because I remember we was in my house and a bunch of people was there, and we was just kind of like, really. I don't know. And then now let's talk about. Let's just jump to the main event, or one of the main events, and talk about John Cena and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was a pretty decent match.
Yeah,
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was.
John Cena's up on screen now.
It was definitely an entertaining match. They kept people involved the whole time, and that was definitely the best wrestling match of the night. Well, not the best. I would say Brock Lesnar and CM Punk was the best match of the night.
Yeah. The two main events didn't let down. They lived up to all the hype going in.
Yeah, but everything else was just.
Yeah, I hate. Well, I'm glad John Cena lost, which we all knew was coming because he has to have surgery has a partial tricep tear or full tricep tear or something. I don't know. And I think that's back here. But so he has to have surgery. They're saying he's going to be out 4 to 6 months. We all know he has a quick recovery time, quicker than any known man on the planet. It's insane how quick he can recover from things.
Yeah.
So I don't see him being out for 6 months. I see him probably taking at least 4 months and probably just letting his whole body heal because he hasn't had any time off, which I've been saying for a while. I think he just needs to go away for a while. I hate that it has to be under surgery, but I mean, I'm still glad he's going away for a while.
Yeah. Well, and then what happened? Obviously, I'm sure if you follow WWE, you know that Daniel Bryan won the WWE title for about 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, no, that is not the quickest title reign.
No,
I think that's still owned by King.
I don't remember, but yeah, he had it for maybe a max of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Randy Orton came down, showed him the briefcase. He kind of started to turn away and just remind him that he had the briefcase or the Money in the Bank, and then Triple H screws over Daniel Bryan with the pedigree.
I get the whole reasoning, the whole story, and all that, but as a fan, I was kind of disappointing in that because I was like, man, I really wanted, which I've said, I really wanted Daniel Bryan to have a chance to just run with it. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get what they're doing. I get, they want to have Triple H be heel because the ultimate goal for from things I've read and heard is they want Triple H to be heel at WrestleMania and kind of maybe face Stone Cold for control of the company.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I don't. Whether Stone Cold does it or not, I have no idea.
We'll see what happens in the next couple months. But I mean, the only other match I want to kind of hit on is
CM Punk.
No, I want
to talk about that one.
Yeah, of course. But the only other match besides those two is Damian Sandow and Cody Rhodes, which was actually a really good match.
Yeah.
That was probably for a low end on the card. It was actually a really good match, and Cody Rhodes shaved his mustache, so they're starting to transform him into a different character. So I look forward to seeing what he does with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all know that you think Cody Rhodes. Well, we both think Cody Rhodes is one of the most underrated superstars. Right. So I'm also very excited to see where they're going to take this, where he's going to go, and what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how all that plays out. I do want to talk about the CM Punk Brock Lesnar match.
Yeah, why? I don't see why.
Whatever, dude, because it was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was really good.
I've been saying that I thought it was going to be a great match. You was on the fence.
I was a little iffy
because you was like, man, I don't know, because all they've done so far is kind of just brawl and not really. Right. And I'm like, dude, I just think it's going to happen.
Yeah, which they announced at the beginning of the show, at the beginning of the pre-show, they announced that Paul Heyman was turning it into a no DQ match.
Yeah.
So,
but I think it made sense. It kind of went with it, and
course,
I think they needed it for the kind of match that they ended up having. I think it needed to be that. And I think, I mean, for the size difference and the style difference, phenomenal match. I mean,
it was a great match, and I liked the ending of it with I didn't mind CM Punk losing, but he got his point across, and Heyman a little bit, and Heyman's arm,
because
so
he came out of Raw with a
sling on
or whatever.
Yeah, so. It looks like Brock Lesnar got injured in the. I'm injured. We don't know, but he's going to drop off the face of WWE for a couple months at least. Kind of just
because he has that short thing.
So now they're kind of the Curtis Axel and
him getting another person supposedly.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be kind of.
Yeah, and that's something I don't know if we mentioned last week is that Paul Heyman has gone to NXT to scout out a new Heyman guy. So we'll see.
Or a girl.
Or a girl.
Yeah, because there was something said about a girl or something. I don't remember. A little cool, interesting news that I had heard. RVD has extended his contract. so he's going to be staying a little longer. So that is awesome. I know you're excited about that.
I am.
And all the RVD fans are excited about that.
He's the man.
Yeah. Now, all right, let's jump to some, with Survivor Series.
SummerSlam. Yeah, that pretty much the end of SummerSlam. It was.
Raw I thought was okay.
What do you give it? what do you think? SummerSlam.
Honestly, the last two matches, the main events, really carried the whole show.
Yeah.
I'm about a 6.5.
Yeah, I'd say it started out at a 4, and ended with an 8. So yeah, I would give it around.
I'm at a 6.5. I mean, the last two matches were the best matches of the card. The other matches, a couple of them were okay, but not enough to just really put it over what I thought the pay-per-view was going to be. Raw, I thought was fairly decent. I didn't get to watch all of it because I had business calls on Monday, and it's just, I don't know, just a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, they did a Damian Sandow and Cody Rhodes rematch, which was again good. Then
I heard, my brother told me that John Cena had come out and addressed everybody and was saying bye, that he was taking time off or whatever for surgery.
And then Daniel Bryan came out, and Stephanie McMahon came out, and so he confronted Stephanie McMahon, and then Stephanie tried to take up for Triple H and kind of made the whole, he did what he did for business and that kind of thing. And then they kicked Daniel Bryan out of the arena for the night. And so Daniel Bryan didn't even wrestle, but he came back out at the end of the night. The night ended with Randy Orton, Triple H, Vince McMahon, and Stephanie McMahon all in the ring. And that's kind of the new corporation. I mean, it's...
Yeah, well, because they're already saying that Daniel Bryan is the PG version of Austin. In that role. Not that he's similar to Austin, but in the role of, we have the new corporation.
Yeah.
So Daniel Bryan is that new anti-corporation kind of thing.
Right, but, role. I mean, if you want to go against the corporation, you need to show a backbone and start fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan, maybe, but I mean, as of Monday night, they just left him beat to hell by the Shield, and then Randy Orton RKO'd him in the middle of the ring, and that was the end. So it really pissed me off because the whole wrestling, all the superstars of the WWE were on the ramp. They were at the they were on the entrance ramp while Daniel Bryan was getting beat down by the Shield. So where was the Big Show and Mark Henry that have a feud with the Shield? They're all standing up there. I mean, it was just like, why didn't one person stand up to,
or just not have the guys out there? I mean, you can't. It has to make sense. One thing I'm excited about is I actually heard that Big Mark Henry are going to be a tag team, which I said at the pay-per-view I would like for them to be a tag team.
Yeah.
And then come to find out they're going to be. Another thing, just right here, just popped up, which is weird because it's WWE 2K14 and it's celebrating 30 years of WrestleMania.
Right.
Minus one big factor of WrestleManias.
Yes.
Roddy Piper was a big, big factor in the first 4, 5, 6 WrestleManias at least. And he's not on the game. And so somebody had asked him, what do you think about 30 years of WrestleMania? And he goes, I'm not on it, so it can't be 30 years of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Which I kind of agree. Why is he not on there?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that they've, they always fill in all those wrestlers with the create a superstar. So everybody, well, obviously, I mean, they're not gonna still do the real things. I mean, because if you played the last one, you basically went through the whole Raw era or the whole Attitude era. And I really enjoyed that. I had fun playing that part of the game. So yeah, it will be kind of strange for them to go through. I guess they're going to do the same thing of going through 30 years of WrestleMania. You do the highlights and things like that.
Yeah. That was cool, but I mean, there's I don't know. I just think Piper should be on there. All right, let's. Anything else with Raw or?
Other than Wade, not Wade. Wade Barrett, not Wade Barrett.
No.
Bray Wyatt, sorry, wrestled. I always want to call him K-Quick, but it's R-Truth.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. Did you see that match?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I was on call. So.
I mean, it was just another one of those where he got too excited or too in a hurry. He couldn't get his finisher. He kept spinning around. R-Truth wasn't going down right, or he wasn't spinning it right. I mean, it was rough. I mean, it looked really bad. So he's got
He obviously he's nervous, so maybe
right.
he just needs to calm down. Maybe when veterans in the back need to talk to him and say, "All right, let's bring it down, slow it down a little bit," So I don't know.
But that's pretty much it for Raw. I mean, other than the big thing to take out of Raw is that the new corporation has been built, and so it looks like
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. On to some everybody's favorite Impact Wrestling. I have some.
What is it?
Impact. Impact Wrestling.
Never heard of it.
I haven't either. But I have some contractual news on that one.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and it's funny because you and I was actually talking about this the other day. We was talking about this particular wrestler, what he would be like in WWE. Who do you think I'm talking about?
Austin Aries?
No, that would be another good one.
Oh.
AJ Styles.
Oh, goodness
His
gracious.
contract is up next month in September. Now, TNA is, or Impact Wrestling, however they want to be referred to, is now notorious for waiting to the last minute to redo it or letting it expire and then scrambling to get something together. Bruce Pritchard was bad about that. But AJ Styles has posted on his personal Facebook and stuff, like, where should I go? TNA, ROH, WWE. So, I mean, he's hinting. I mean, ROH, he would do great there, obviously, but I mean, come on, that's kind of a lateral move in the sense now,
or even a small step down.
Yeah, probably even a small step down.
I mean, ROH. Don't take me the wrong way. I love what they do there.
Great product. It's almost a training ground.
Yeah, I mean it is. I mean it's the biggest indie promotion. You know what I mean? It's I wouldn't even call it. Obviously, the guys are getting paid like pros. You know what I mean? They're well. WWE or TNA pros, but I would say that OH is the biggest.
Yeah, independent.
Independent.
I mean, it's still independent. They don't have a TV deal. They don't have anything like major. So it's a traveling independent show.
Yeah,
is what it is. I would like to see what he could do in
or what the WWE could do with him.
Well, they would probably drop the ball. So I would like to see how he could.
Right. Well,
I would like to see what kind of impact he could put in. And well, you know what though, I shouldn't say that because Triple H now is more and more involved in all the creative as far as talent goes. So, I mean, the last things Triple H has his big projects was just on the tip of my tongue, and now I can't think about it. It's like it's done popped out of my head. Yeah, like wrestler projects. There's a couple of bad ones. I digress. So I would like to see if AJ Styles goes there.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. He's been with TNA for a long time.
Yeah, since the beginning.
So we'll just have to see.
Now, all right. So let's talk about the first part of Hard Justice last week. Top to bottom,
Yeah.
You know, it was okay. Nothing more really spectacular. TNA really dropped the ball. Not that we're surprised. Obviously, Angle's out, so he's not going to be in the 5-man match that's tonight. Right. So they're trying to find somebody else.
They were trying to get Tito Ortiz, so they were hinting at that.
Yeah, so they approached Tito. You know, they come out that whole thing, and they dropped the ball. But really, then again, I also don't think they.
Well, I think they're like trying to catch the ball, and they're just like, I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And every time they get a little grasp on something, it just slips even further. You know what I mean? Like they almost had something going, and then Kurt Angle, gets out for the next forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You never know when he's coming back and slip. You know what I mean? It's just like
it's crazy because I mean I think they ended that one little angle too quick. Yeah. I think he should have joined the main event Mafia. I think he should have wrestled this match and then tweaked whatever finish and then like repackaged whoever they want to repackage.
Right.
But having him turn on them that quick that night and then now I wanted Bully Ray to win, and I said that I'm not a big. I like Chris Sabin, not a fan of him being the heavyweight champion.
Right.
Just it doesn't.
But it
to
was
me,
a
it doesn't
decent.
make sense.
It was a decent cage match. Other than my problem with their cage match and the WWE's cage matches is that you can walk out the front door to win. I mean, that's the most pointless. Cage match I've ever heard of. I mean, WWE does it too, but I just think it's so stupid. I mean, a cage match to me is climb over the top, you win. So, but
I think that's how it should be. I think it should be climb over the top and win.
But it doesn't matter. It was a decent match. The ending was, of course, with Tito Ortiz coming out and hitting everybody with a hammer, and
Yeah. I think he hit Rampage. It looked like a real stiff shot.
I think it's a rubber hammer. So
but still, I mean, my son has hit me with a rubber hammer. It doesn't feel good, and he's 3. So I mean, Tito Ortiz has a lot more power.
You're a wuss.
Yes, I am. But Tito Ortiz has a lot more power than my 3-year-old son.
I don't think so.
And so I mean, it just looked more of a stiff shot, than what it probably meant to be. But then again, we'll find out. It's a little. I don't know. You know how I feel. I'm a fan of Tito Ortiz. I love Tito Ortiz. I'm a huge MMA fan. But I just can't get behind him being in Impact Wrestling.
Well, I mean, they haven't worked on punches. You know what I mean? They haven't been doing punches for years, kicks for years. I mean, to get a good-looking kick or a good-looking punch as a professional wrestler, it takes a lot of practice and a long time doing it. You know what I mean? Even if you had the most technical skills in the world, like both of them do. Like both of them have great technical skills. It's just they don't have the skills that a professional wrestler has practice from. You know what I mean? So it shows when they try to punch or kick or whatever. It just looks like they just threw a fan in there to try to punch and kick. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm curious to see how, the second part of Hard Justice comes to.
Yeah, well, because, I mean, spoiler alert, the main event Mafia is not going to lose. You know what I mean? They can't.
Yeah, I don't see who they
can't
lose.
Get rid of any of those people.
Unless they was going to pit Angle or something. But I don't know who. Yeah, who are they going to? They're not going to get rid of Samoa Joe. Magnus just re-upped his contract, so he's not going anywhere. And Rampage is just a gimmick in itself of him being there.
And there's so many guys on.
Yeah, Sting. I think his contract's coming up, so maybe that could have been his way out. Or Kurt Angle, and I know Kurt Angle wants to. I know he wants to finish his career in WWE and be in their Hall of Fame, but
he's not going to do it with a DUI.
But here's the thing: he's slated to be the next member of the TNA Hall of Fame. At the next at Bound for Glory, I think he's supposed to get in or something. So I mean, I don't know. I know Sting has hinted. But he's hinted.
But if you look, I mean, if you just look at the other team, if you look at
they got
Aces and Eights, they have a million guys.
He's not going to go back to
TNA,
WWE right now. Who all else is in that one?
Devon,
he's not going.
He's not going anywhere. But then they have a bunch of low cards.
Yeah, they have Garrett Bischoff. He's not going nowhere.
Yeah.
They have Wes Briscoe. I don't know.
Yeah, but those guys are more likely to get cut off of the roster than.
Well, speaking of cut, Brooke Hogan is no longer there. She got the axe.
What? They were just trying to build up this whole big gimmick between her and Bully Ray.
Yeah, just last
tonight
week.
was supposed to be like the big reveal.
It may still happen because they recorded both things, so that may put it to an end, like right there. I don't know, but she got to act like she's done, and Hogan hasn't been on there in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And
so I bet they're just gonna come out tonight and say they got a divorce. Say here's the papers.
So I don't know. We'll find out.
Because they were supposed to build up. It looked like they were building up to a big, they were actually in love thing. Yeah. But now it looks like they'll probably just squash that real quick.
Yeah, and Hogan, he may be done with TNA. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh well.
So we'll find out. I don't have anything else on TNA. They're just losing money hand over fist.
Well.
So I heard a rumor. I don't know how true it is that. If the company that owns TNA now gets going too bad, that Viacom has said something about buying it.
All right.
So, but I mean, if they don't make some changes, it's not going to be worth buying. It's not going to be.
Yeah, just Viacom, save your money, go buy ROH.
Yeah. Yes. that would be great.
So
put ROH up there. I mean, because you would at least get a better product. I mean, here lately, I don't know, dude. I don't know what's going on with Impact. I mean, they need some help. Lots of it. But I don't have anything else.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the pros. So
yeah. If you haven't already, check out this past Wednesday's interview with the woman, Krista Prater.
Yeah.
And yes, we know it says the woman.
The woman. That was my typo. I was a little quick.
No, that was our.
We'll just call that our production.
Yeah,
assistant.
Our production assistant. She really dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah.
We're going to fire her. So, yeah. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, right? Oh, she doesn't know, does she yet? She knows now. It's probably going to be a little awkward at dinner, but okay.
Yeah, so this week was training for Promotion Builder and Gimmick Builder. Next week on Monday, you'll see Promotion Builder of keeping the ring clean, and then Gimmick Builder of keeping your gear and yourself clean.
Yes.
So, and then we have an interview.
Matt Devlin, CC Devlin, who we had a couple of weeks ago. His son, who grew up with CC Wrestling, who was trained by CC, and who's now, at the time of the interview, 30 or so matches into his wrestling career.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was a pretty well done interview. Yeah. He is a little young because he's just starting off. He's still, in his teens.
He's very young, but he's, got a lot of promise.
Yeah.
And
we've actually seen
a lot of
wrestle,
matches. Yeah.
So,
a lot of matches in his future.
So far. All right. We'll see y'all next time.
Yep. See you next time.